Good morning. I want to talk to you today about something that lives deep inside each of us, the ability to create our own future. Now, let me be clear, your future isn't something that just happens to you. It's not a series of random events. It's something you have the power to shape. You are the author of your story, the architect of your destiny, and the creator of your own future. First and foremost, you've got to understand your own power. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for. Every choice you make every single day is a stepping stone toward your future. Whether you realize it or not, you are already creating it with every decision, every action, every word you speak. So the question is, are you consciously designing the life you want, or are you letting circumstances write your story? Because here's the truth, no one else can do it for you. The power lies in your hands. Trust the journey. Now, I know it's not always easy. Life throws curveballs. Some days you'll feel like the weight of the world is too much. But here's the thing, every struggle, every setback is a step forward. Trust that the journey, no matter how hard, is guiding you towards something greater. We don't always understand it in the moment, but the challenges you face today are building the strength you'll need tomorrow. Your journey is yours alone, and it's shaping you into the person who can stand in the future you deserve. Visualize with intention. One of the greatest gifts you have is the ability to visualize. You've got to see your future before it happens. Picture the life you want. Close your eyes and imagine it every detail. What does it look like? How does it feel? What are you doing in that future? Who are you surrounded by? When you can see it in your mind, that's when you can start moving toward it with clarity and purpose. You don't just wake up one day in your dream life, you build it brick by brick, moment by moment. Overcome fear and doubt. Now let me tell you something about fear. Fear is going to show up. Every time you set your sights on something bigger, every time you step into new territory, fear will knock on your door, and that's okay. Fear means you're growing. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But don't let fear stop you. Let it be a signal that you're on the right track. You don't have to know every step ahead of you. You just have to take the next step, even if it's scary. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward in spite of it. Take action now. And finally, your future doesn't start someday, it starts now. Right here, right now, with the actions you take today. Don't wait for the perfect time, because that perfect time may never come. Begin where you are with what you have. Maybe it's a small step, maybe it's just a decision, but it matters. The future is built by people who understand that today is the foundation for tomorrow. So ask yourself, what can I do right now to move closer to the future I want? Because in the end, your future is not something waiting for you out there. It's right here, unfolding in the choices you make today. So go ahead, make the decision, take the step, embrace the journey, and create the future that's waiting for you. You are the author of your life. Make it a story worth telling. Each of us holds within a reservoir of untapped potential power that we often overlook or underestimate. The truth is, the future isn't a distant destination, it's something we actively shape with our choices, our thoughts, and our actions every single day. And to do that, you must recognize and fully embrace the power you carry within yourself. So many of us live under the illusion that our lives are at the mercy of outside forces, circumstances, other people, luck. We tell ourselves stories like, if only I had more opportunities, more support, more time, more resources. As though our success, our happiness, our future is dependent on something or someone else. But let me tell you, the moment you realize that no one else is responsible for your life but you, everything changes. Your power lies in understanding that no matter where you come from, no matter what obstacles you face, you have the ability to create a different reality for yourself. The key is in believing that you have the strength and the capability to do so. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that life isn't going to try to knock you down or that everything will go according to plan. What I am saying is that you have a choice in how you respond to life. That's where your power truly lies, in your response. It's in how you choose to interpret your circumstances, how you choose to rise after you fall, and how you decide what your next move will be, even when you're unsure of the outcome. Think about this every moment of your life. You're making decisions, whether they're big or small. They all contribute to the future you're creating. Even when it feels like things are out of control, your power shows up in how you navigate through the chaos. Do you stay stuck, blaming the world, or do you rise and take ownership of your path forward? That's the difference between feeling powerless and living in your power. It's not about controlling every aspect of your life. It's about owning your role in it. We often underestimate the small decisions we make every day, but those are the building blocks of our future. What you choose to focus on, how you treat yourself, the people you surround yourself with, the goals you set, these are all reflections of the power you're exercising in your life. When you embrace your power, you start to realize that every decision is an opportunity to create a life aligned with your vision, your purpose, and your truth. Part of embracing your power is silencing the doubts and fears that tell you you're not enough. We all have that inner voice that tries to convince us we don't have what it takes, that whispers about our past failures or insecurities. But here's the thing: that voice doesn't define you unless you allow it to. Your power is not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about showing up for yourself again and again, even when you're scared, even when you've failed before. When you fully embrace your power, you stop waiting for the right time or the perfect moment to act. You stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to live the life you want. You understand that you don't need to have it all figured out to take the next step. You realize that your future isn't something that will magically happen one day. It's being shaped right now, in this very moment, by what you choose to do and how you choose to think. Ultimately, embracing your power means realizing that you are the creator of your life. You are not a passive participant in your own story. Every decision you make is a stroke on the canvas of your future. Every moment you choose to be brave, to take action, to believe in yourself, that's you, stepping into your power. In a world where we're constantly encouraged to plan, achieve, and stay on a strict path, the idea of trusting the unknown can feel uncomfortable. But when you trust the journey, you allow yourself to let go of the need for total control. It's not about having everything figured out or knowing exactly where you're going. It's about believing that every step you take, even the missteps, is taking you where you need to be. Life unfolds in its own time, and sometimes the lessons, the growth, and the breakthroughs come from the moments we least expect. That's the beauty of the journey. There will be times when it feels like nothing is going according to plan. You might feel stuck, frustrated, or lost, wondering why certain things aren't happening for you. You might compare your path to others and feel like you're falling behind. But here's the thing: the journey is uniquely yours. It's not meant to look like anyone else's. Your struggles, your detours, even your moments of doubt are all shaping you into the person who can handle the future that's meant for you. Every challenge you face is teaching you something, building resilience and preparing you for what's ahead, even if you can't see it in the moment. Trusting the journey also means embracing the idea that there's value in the waiting, in the periods of uncertainty, and in the times when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like. We often feel pressure to always be moving forward, to be constantly progressing and checking things off our list. But growth doesn't always happen on the surface. Sometimes the most profound transformations are taking place underneath, quietly, during those moments when you feel like you're standing still. It's in those quiet spaces that you learn patience, perseverance, and the deeper truths about yourself and your purpose. And let's not forget the importance of gratitude along the way. Trusting the journey invites us to pause and appreciate where we are right now. In this moment, it's easy to get so focused on the future, on where you're trying to go, that you forget to honor where you are. Even if you're not exactly where you want to be yet, there's value in acknowledging how far you've come. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. Trusting the journey means celebrating those small victories and understanding that they're part of a larger picture. Trusting the journey is also about releasing the need for perfection. There will be times when things don't go according to plan, when you make mistakes, or when you feel like you've taken a wrong turn. But those moments are not failures. They are part of the learning process. Each stumble is a chance to grow, to realign with your purpose, and to gain a deeper understanding of yourself. The detours and obstacles don't derail you, they refine you. They help you build the strength and wisdom that you'll need for the future you're creating. It's also important to recognize that trusting the journey doesn't mean being passive or sitting back and waiting for life to happen to you. It's about being actively engaged in your own growth while still allowing life to unfold in its own way and time. It's a balance between setting your intentions, working toward your goals, and being flexible enough to adapt when life takes an unexpected turn. Trusting the journey is about faith, not blind faith, but the kind of faith that comes from knowing that you are capable, that life is full of possibilities, and that even when things don't go as planned, you will still find your way. Ultimately, trusting the journey is about surrendering to the flow of life, while knowing that you are exactly where you need to be at this moment. It's understanding that the experiences you're having, whether they're joyful or challenging, are shaping you for the future you're meant to live. Trust that the road you're on, with all its curves and bumps, is leading you somewhere meaningful. You don't need to have all the answers today, you just need to take the next step, trusting that the path will reveal itself as you go. Everything that exists in your life right now started as a thought. Your current reality is a reflection of the beliefs and images you've held in your mind, whether you were conscious of it or not. So the first step in creating the future you desire is to visualize it with clarity. You need to see it in your mind as if it's already happening. What does your ideal life look like? What kind of person are you in that future? What are you doing, feeling, and experiencing? Visualization is about creating such a vivid mental picture that it feels almost tangible, almost real. The more specific and detailed your vision, the more powerful it becomes. Visualization is also about aligning your thoughts with your actions. When you consistently hold a clear and intentional vision in your mind, your actions naturally start to follow. You become more focused, more deliberate, and more motivated. Your mind starts to filter out distractions and hone in on the opportunities that align with your vision. This is where intention really comes into play, because when your vision is tied to a strong sense of purpose, you're more likely to take consistent action toward it. You're not just dreaming, you're doing. And every small action brings you closer to turning that vision into reality. At its core, visualizing with intention is about stepping into the future you want with confidence, clarity, and conviction. It's about more than just seeing your dreams, it's about believing in them, feeling them, and acting in alignment with them. When you visualize with intention, you're not just passively hoping for a better future, you're actively creating it. And when you combine a clear vision with strong intention, belief, and consistent action, you have the power to bring that vision to life. Fear is often rooted in the unknown. When you step into unfamiliar territory, take on new challenges, or pursue a dream that stretches beyond your comfort zone, fear inevitably shows up. It whispers all kinds of doubts. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What will people think? What if this doesn't work out? These questions create mental barriers that can paralyze you, preventing you from taking the actions that will lead you toward your goals. But the truth is, fear is a sign that you're growing. It shows up precisely because you're venturing into new, expansive territory. The first step in overcoming fear and doubt is recognizing that they are a normal part of the process. You're not alone in feeling them, and they don't make you weak or incapable. Even the most successful, confident people experience fear and doubt. What sets them apart is how they respond to those feelings. Instead of letting fear stop them in their tracks, they acknowledge it and move forward anyway. They don't wait for fear to disappear before taking action, they act in spite of it. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward even when fear is present. One of the most important things to understand about fear is that it often exaggerates the worst-case scenario. It magnifies the risks and minimizes your abilities. Fear makes you imagine all the things that could go wrong, often making them seem much more likely than they actually are. But when you take a closer look, you'll often realize that the worst-case scenario isn't as catastrophic as your mind makes it out to be. And even if it does happen, you are far more capable of handling it than you give yourself credit for. A powerful way to overcome fear is by reframing it. Instead of seeing fear as a sign that something is wrong, begin to see it as a signal that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and into an opportunity for growth. Fear shows up when you're about to do something new, something that challenges you, something that has the potential to change your life. In that sense, fear is an indicator that you're on the right path. The very presence of fear means you're stretching yourself, pushing your limits, and moving towards something greater. Doubt, on the other hand, often stems from a lack of belief in yourself or your abilities. It's that inner voice that questions whether you're really capable of achieving what you've set out to do. Doubt makes you second guess your talents, your worth, and even your dreams. But here's the thing, doubt isn't always based on truth. It's often rooted in past experiences where you may have faced setbacks or disappointments, and it clings to those moments as proof that you can't succeed. The key to overcoming doubt is learning to separate fact from fiction. Just because you've faced challenges in the past doesn't mean you're destined to fail in the future. Each experience, whether successful or not, teaches you something valuable that prepares you for what's ahead. One effective way to combat doubt is by reflecting on your past successes. It's easy to forget all the times you've overcome obstacles, achieved your goals, or navigated difficult situations when doubt creeps in. But those moments are powerful reminders of your capability. When doubt tells you that you're not enough or that you can't do something, look back at all the times you've proven it wrong. You've made it through challenges before, and you'll make it through them again. Another way to quiet doubt is by focusing on progress rather than perfection. Doubt often arises when you set unrealistically high expectations for yourself, or when you believe that you need to have everything figured out before taking action. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for everything to be perfect before moving forward will only keep you stuck. Focus on taking small, consistent steps toward your goal. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory. When you focus on progress rather than perfection, you give yourself permission to grow and learn along the way, which helps to dissolve doubt. Fear and doubt can also be tackled through action. The more you sit with fear and doubt, the more they grow. But when you take action, especially small, manageable steps, you begin to build momentum. And with momentum comes confidence. Action quiets the mind because it shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what you can do right now. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you're proving to yourself that you are capable. You're building a track record of courage. And with each step, fear and doubt lose their grip. Visualization can also be a powerful tool in overcoming fear and doubt. When you visualize yourself succeeding, seeing yourself taking action, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your goals, you're training your brain to believe in that possibility. Visualization helps to shift your focus away from fear and toward a future where you are thriving. The more vividly you can imagine yourself succeeding, the more your mind starts to believe it's possible, which weakens the hold of fear and doubt. It's important to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Fear and doubt often grow in isolation, but when you have a strong support system, those feelings can be diminished. Seek out mentors, friends, or communities that encourage your growth and remind you of your strengths. Sometimes, when you can't see your own potential, it helps to have others who can reflect it back to you. Their belief in you can act as a bridge until you fully believe in yourself. Ultimately, overcoming fear and doubt is not about eliminating them entirely, it's about learning to navigate through them. Fear and doubt are not your enemies, they're simply part of the journey. They show up when you're on the edge of something new, something challenging, something worthwhile. When you learn to face them, acknowledge them, and move forward in spite of them, you reclaim your power. You begin to realize that you are far more capable than your fear or doubt would have you believe. You start to trust yourself, trust your abilities, and trust that no matter what happens, you will find your way through. Taking action now is one of the most critical steps in turning your dreams, goals, and intentions into reality. It's easy to get caught up in planning, preparing, or waiting for the perfect moment. But the truth is, the future you want doesn't come from waiting, it comes from taking bold, decisive action in the present. It's about recognizing that while thinking, visualizing, and believing are important, they are only part of the equation. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, even the best laid plans remain nothing more than ideas. One of the biggest reasons people hesitate to take action is the fear of failure. We worry that if we step out and try something new, we might fail, and that fear can paralyze us. But here's the thing, inaction is its own kind of failure. By not acting, you're not giving yourself the chance to succeed. You're staying in a place of safety and familiarity, but you're also missing out on growth, progress, and opportunity. Failure isn't the end, it's part of the process. It's how you learn, refine your approach, and ultimately grow stronger. When you take action now, you embrace the possibility of failure as a learning experience rather than letting it keep you stuck. Another reason people put off action is the belief that they need to be fully prepared before they begin. We tell ourselves that we'll take action when we have more resources, more time, more knowledge, or more confidence. But the reality is, you're never going to feel 100% ready. There will always be something that feels uncertain or incomplete, but waiting for perfect conditions only delays your progress. You don't need to have everything figured out to start. In fact, action is often the very thing that clarifies the next steps. When you start moving, even with imperfect knowledge or resources, you create momentum. And momentum is a powerful force. It builds upon itself, and as you move forward, the path becomes clearer. Taking action now also means recognizing that small steps count. Too often we get overwhelmed by the size of our goals and feel like we need to make huge leaps in order to succeed. But big goals are accomplished through consistent, smaller actions. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. When you focus on the small, manageable actions you can take today, you break the goal down into something achievable. These small steps compound over time, leading to significant progress. Action isn't always about making dramatic moves, it's about steady, ongoing effort. Another important aspect of taking action now is breaking free from analysis paralysis. Many people spend so much time thinking about what they want to do, researching all the possible options, and weighing the pros and cons that they never actually take the first step. While it's important to be thoughtful and informed, there comes a point when too much thinking becomes a form of avoidance. Action requires you to make a decision, even if it's not the perfect one. You can adjust and refine as you go, but you can't course correct if you never start. The longer you wait, the more time you waste, and the harder it becomes to break free from the inertia of inaction. When you take action now, you also send a powerful message to yourself about your own belief in your abilities. You're telling yourself that you trust yourself enough to try. You're telling yourself that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way, whether it's success or failure. This builds confidence, because confidence doesn't come from sitting on the sidelines, it comes from doing. Every time you take action, you're proving to yourself that you have the courage to move forward, even when things are uncertain. With each step you take, you strengthen your belief in your ability to create change in your life. Taking action now also puts you in a position to seize opportunities. Opportunities often come disguised as challenges or unexpected events, and they require you to be ready to act. When you're already in motion, already taking steps toward your goals, you're more likely to recognize and capitalize on those opportunities when they arise. Action keeps you engaged with life, open to new possibilities, and prepared to pivot or adapt as needed. If you're sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the right opportunity, you might miss the one that's right in front of you. Another powerful benefit of taking action now is that it breaks the cycle of procrastination. Procrastination isn't just about putting things off, it's a pattern that drains your energy and diminishes your motivation. The longer you put something off, the more daunting it feels and the more difficult it becomes to start. But once you take even a small step, you break that cycle. Action generates energy, and once you're in motion, it becomes easier to keep going. The simple act of starting can give you the momentum you need to continue. When you break tasks down into smaller, more manageable pieces and commit to doing anything right now, you shift the entire dynamic. It's also important to realize that action creates clarity. Sometimes we hesitate to take action because we're not sure if it's the right step. But clarity often comes from doing, not from thinking. As you take action, you learn more about yourself, your goals, and the path you're on. You gain insights that you could never get from sitting and thinking. Even if the action you take isn't perfect, it provides valuable feedback that helps you refine your approach. When you act, you're engaging with life in a way that allows you to course correct and adapt as needed, rather than staying stuck in indecision. Finally, taking action now is about honoring the present moment. We often live in the future, telling ourselves that we'll do something someday, but the only time you have is right now. The present moment is the only place where action can happen. Every moment you wait is a moment lost. By acting now, you make the most of the time you have, and you begin to create the future you want to see. There's power in immediacy when you take action now. You're not just planning for the future, you're actively creating it. In the end, taking action now is about embracing the fact that growth, progress, and change don't happen in the abstract, they happen through action. It's about realizing that waiting for the perfect time or the perfect plan is just a way of postponing the life you want to live. Every moment offers a chance to move closer to your dreams. The sooner you take that step, the sooner you begin to experience the rewards. There's no better time than now to start creating the life you desire, one action at a time.